Hello and welcome back again to Lutys Chainsaw Mods. Just wanted to give you a little update. I've got another powerful saw here. I'm not long. Actually, I've had issues with it, but it's a bloody powerful saw now. And I just wanted to go through a few issues with these really that you can get. I've got another one here. This one is the one I did a while back. CS580 Chinese Husqvarna clone. I mean, this one's been running bloody beautiful, to be fair, really powerful. This is the one I've just finished. I've copied all the stuff off this one, built it into this one. As I said before, big carburettor off a Husqvarna 372s on both of these. My homemade manifolds that I make, intake manifolds, they both got them on. A lowered jug, transfers raised very slightly, ported wide open, transfers, piston windows really opened up. Lightened piston on this one, very light. I've actually ported this one a bit more aggressive to this one. This one's massive now, like it's mad. Like it's probably pushing about 5 horse, I think, this one, compared to my other saws. Like, because I've got some that well, I've got one MS362 that pushes 4.8 horse. This one's easily as powerful as that. This one now, although I haven't tested it in the wood yet, I've only had it running, potentially it could have a bit more power than this one. Anyway, I just wanted to get, sort of give you a little bit of info about it. I got this one going. This one's running lovely, and the thing about it is I've done the same sort of mods to both of them. Okay, now I got this one going. The last job I did was build a massive air cleaner for it, a free flow air cleaner. Opened up the top box, opened it up, so I got sponge in here now, both sides of that. It's similar to this one here. Obviously this has got a sponge in it. There's different shape because this one's clipped either side, this one's clipped at the back, so I've done them a different sort of way around just to get around that problem. They are, other than that, they're identical saws, these two, and they're bloody monsters now, they really are. So anyway, I got it going, and I tuned the carb a little bit, but really I needed the air cleaner to be on. So I set about building the air cleaner after I got it running. It ran okay, it seemed to run alright. Built the air cleaner, put the air cleaner on, and it wouldn't start. Just would not start. And then I got it going with easy start, it was just messing about, terrible like. So I took the air cleaner off again, because obviously you can get the jets a bit better, and I got it going, and it continued like this for quite a while actually, where it seemed to be, when it was all sort of built, I'd turn it off after I tuned it, put the air cleaner on, and then it wouldn't go. Anyway, I thought to myself, it's got to be something to do with this air cleaner, or the carb is the regulator, the fuel regulator is not right in the carb, because as soon as you put the air regulator on, it seems to over fuel or something to make it cut out, and the RPMs drop and then it cuts out, sort of thing, and sometimes it won't start at all. And every time I had the filter off, messing around with the carb, I'd get it going again and set it up and what have you, and it did it again, so I thought there's something wrong with the regulator, fuel regulator. So today I've had the carburettor off, and I've had all the carburettor completely apart, there was an issue with the fuel regulator, which made me think I'd found the fault. The spring, that because the fuel regulators, they've got a needle valve with a rocker on the top and a little spring under the rocker to hold the needle valve closed. And the spring wasn't fitted in the right place. I thought, oh, that's it, I've done it. It's holding the needle open, it's making it flood. So I corrected that, put it all back together, still the same issue. And then I found I got it going, and I'd set it, it was going nice and everything. And I went to put the air filter on, and it cut out. It just stopped. So I carried on, I fitted the air filter, went to restart it again, wouldn't start. Took the air filter off, away it went. I thought it's got to be something to do with this air filter. I don't know what, but it's got to be something to do with it. Now, I couldn't figure out, like with this one, I've never had an issue with this one, and this has got a similar air cleaner, okay? It's just a sponge air filter, it's got a steel back plate, there's mesh under here, and then it's covered in sponge. Fits on the carburetor. It is free flowing, so it shouldn't cause any kind of vacuum. Yeah, it's a lot bigger and more free flowing than the standard one. It just should not cause a vacuum. So I basically, the only difference between this filter and the filter I built on this one is obviously the colour of the sponge, as you can see, but I made the back plate on this one out of a piece of aluminium. This one's just got a steel back plate. I couldn't get this in my head. Could not get it. Why it died every time. And then I worked it out, and I'll show you what it was doing. I worked it out that it's got to be this, because I found out it was out there running, and I just put the filter on by hand, and already it started to hesitate. I thought, it's got to be this. It's got to be earthing, shorting or something. Anyway, sure enough, because the filter fits against the spark plug cap here, well, this one, it isn't right against it. Well, it kind of is, but it's, you know, not. It was never as tight as this one. This one's just tighter. Anyway, what I've done, I've glued a piece of rubber there, look, where it meets the plug top, and that's put it right. So what it must have been doing is tracking through here, through the back plate, and then obviously because it bolts onto the carburetor, it must have been earthing, basically shorting out the bloody spark. So that was a problem I had. You know, I've said before, really, I mean, the other thing I had with it, which I did find, sorry, before, I even checked the crank seals, and the one under the flywheel was quite bad, to be fair. So I replaced that crank seal. Now what I do, because I'd had trouble with that seal before, with it sort of tipping out, coming out, and it tipped out. I've got it here actually. That's it. It tipped out. Can you see how it's been worn? See where the steel's showing? Well, what had happened, it was fitting in it. It must have got blown out. It was after I tuned it up, because they're pushing so much more flow, these saws. This one did that too. This one here, when I first built this, it blew the one seal almost right out, because they're not fitted in that tight, to be honest. But because I've got a huge carb on them, huge intake and all the rest of it, when you first get a saw going, sometimes the crank fills up with fuel, which I think this one had done. It spat back and it fired inside the crank, and it must have just blown one of the seals out. So what I'd done with this one originally, I put a new seal in it, but I super glue them in. You know, it works, it holds them in, no worries, you know. So this one, what I've done, obviously, because it is actually catching on the back of the flywheel, that's why you can see that metal there, look. And the sealing face was not that tight either. So yeah, so I put a new seal in it and super glued it in. But I'm so glad that I found this shorting out issue now. It's you know, it's great now. It starts first crack now, no problem. So I just thought you might like to see that. Yeah, like I say, you know, the Chinese, they're great once you've got them running the way you want to and what have you. They're bloody good saw. They're good. Even the bottom end on them, it's really strong. I mean, these are really powerful now, these are. And this one, you know, I've run this for quite a while. With the power it's been pushing, it's I run them at 40:1 oil mix, which is basically what Still recommend for non-Still two-stroke in their saws. I've got a few Stills, like, so you know, I copy a lot of stuff off them, like these air filter designs. They're copied off the 034 Still that I've got. Yeah, I'm really happy. Like I say, the top was a little bit different, you know, with the catch here, but you know, I've opened the top. I put sponge at the top. It's all opened up around the case. The case is ground back inside to get more space for the air filter, the same as this one. It's just that the tops are slightly different, that's all. I put RPM meters on them now, time counters, RPM meters, because I've never used these before. They're pretty cheap. You can get them off eBay and what have you, or just Google it. And this one's a resettable one, so you can search through how many hours it's run during the day, how many total hours, maximum RPMs it logs. This one here is just one that gives you the live information, so it'll give you the idle speed, max RPM speed, but the only thing it does log all the time is it's got a time counter on it, which is what I wanted really, because I mean, I always sort of I know I've run these saws before. I mean, this is I think it's on its 3rd cylinder now. It's getting on for 20 years old, this one. It's, you know, it's not far off. Bloody good saw, but it's on its 3rd cylinder now. I did ruin one cylinder at one point, which you do at the end of the day. At that time I was buying new cylinders and pistons for £10. Yeah, they're blooming good. I love these saws, I really do. You know, they're my go-to saws, and now I've got two. I've got two really powerful saws. So I'm just going to see what the dog's barking at. Maggie? Sorry about that. Yeah, so they're my good go-to saws now, and now I've got two that I mean, I don't know how much this one's going to be pushing really, but I'm just obviously going by the other one. The other one's it's got to be close to 5, might even be at least 5. This one, I don't know, like really. I'll build a dyno one day and sort of dyno test them, because I've been buying bits and I wanted to really I've wanted to do this other saw for a long while. I got this saw 15 quid it cost me. Somebody had bloody melted all the bloody plastic around the clutch and everything, to put the clutch on with it engaged, with the clutch brake engaged, and melted everything. So, you know, it's cost me 15 quid. The bloody cylinder on it now, it's just about been running, but now it's bloody ported and everything. I mean, you can run, not that I use a long bar, but you could run long bars on these easy now. You know, you really could. And one thing I have done, so on this one, as you can see, look, I've got 2 outlets on the exhaust, and I built a sonic cone inside. Okay, so it's a bit radical, that one. Now I always wanted to do a simple mod to an exhaust. So this one, as you can see, it's got a standard looking exhaust on it. I have modified it inside. I'll just show you what I've done actually, because I've got a brand new exhaust here, which I bought a while ago. I've not used it, but I don't know whether you'd be able to see it. I'll do my best. So inside, oh, there you go. See, it's got like a plate inside there, look. It's actually a box section. There's a hole in it. Yeah, I think you can just see that, but it's like a box section, look. See? It's a box section inside. There's one hole there, look. There's a hole at the end, but basically it's got a box section inside. So what I've done, where that one hole is at the bottom there, made that huge, and the other plate, which hasn't got one in, I've made another huge hole in that. Okay, so that also is copying the 034 still, because I've had mine, that's my 034 still. I've had that part, I've had the exhaust of that, and that's what they've done basically. So that's what I've done to this one. Obviously I can't, until I build a dyno, I can't sort of say whether or not, because exhausts don't make a huge amount of difference unless it's an expansion pipe, proper expansion pipe. They do, they make a big difference. So I don't know whether or not that one's going to be much different or not, but and that's why I bought this one. I was going to experiment with it, but I've done the one on that, you know, and if I want to change something, I've always got a spare here. But this, the first one I did, I literally cut the exhaust open, gutted it, put a sonic cone in the end, 2 outlets, large outlets, and it did change it from the standard exhaust, that one, because I'd done all the porting and tuning on this one. I did the exhaust last, so it did change it, made it better, more power. It's noisier though, that's the only thing, and it's not always a good thing. Yeah, it sounds nice, it's not always a good thing. That's another reason why I wanted to modify the standard exhaust on this, which I've done. But again, like I said, I don't know how it will be better, because it's more free flowing now, but I don't know how much better it's going to be. But anyway, I've got it going, got it running lovely, and the next load of wood I get, I'll be pushing these both these saws. Like I said, I really like them. A lot of people don't like the Chinese. Really, I don't know why you wouldn't, because they're just so cheap. It just depends. If you're into messing about with things, they're great. If you want a saw that you just want to pull start it and get on with it and make it 100% reliable, well, they might They're probably all right for a homeowner if you like, you know, doing your wood at home, but no good really for a professional. So you know, but I like them. I love them. Really like them. Really like them. I think they're great saws. Absolutely fantastic. You know, and you can get them reliable. You get around the problems. I mean, all right, on this one I had an issue. It wasn't really the saw, it was me building that modified air cleaner. I haven't really had problems with them much. I had trouble with this one not oiling once. I did a video, a YouTube video on issues with these Chinese. If you want to have a look at that, have a look at that. There's quite a few on there actually that are lutys chainsaw mods. I think there's over 20 now on there, and it does show you all the problems I've had, how I got round it. You know, I mean, one of them is the fact that I've had, you can get these, they break the rope, they'll smash the case, because they don't, the Chinese don't build any sort of cushioning in on these. Well, I've now, look, it's the spring loaded, and both of these are spring loaded. Bloody hell, that one's got some compression, that one has. It's okay. They're both spring loaded to help stop them damaging the case. But this, I mean, this one here is the squish is 1.15. This one here is 0.75 on the squish. You can feel it when you're pulling it. Like that one's a lot harder to pull than this one, and the porting's more aggressive on it. Other than that, everything else is the same, apart from the exhaust, of course. But we'll see. I'd love to see how that goes. You know, I really would. I'll enjoy it the first time when I get some wood. I can't saw at the moment. I haven't been well. I haven't been well at all. I can't saw. When I'm better, obviously I'll be on it. But at the moment, I'm actually letting my son and my son-in-laws use my equipment, because I like to watch how it goes and what have you. Which is, it's a bit gutting really, because obviously I love doing it, and I can't do it. I can't do it at all at the moment. So I'm just left to sort of messing about. Anyway, so yeah, I'll be great. Be lovely to see them, how they both perform, see what difference there is. I've got a feeling that one is going to be a bit better. I mean, this one's bloody brilliant now anyway, but it's going to be a bit better, I think. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed a little insight into what I'm doing, you know, on the Chinese saws. Hope you really enjoyed it, and thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.